Number 10. Istanbul. Istanbul is Turkey's economic and cultural center and was home to three empires: Eastern Roman, Byzantine, and the Ottoman Empire. As a result, visiting Istanbul is a one-of-a-kind experience. Did you know that this city of 15 million is located on two continents, Europe and Asia? You can walk across the Galata Bridge and explore both the Asian and the European sites, each full of rich history, offering an authentic local experience, like enjoying a cup of traditional Turkish coffee. Don't miss the impressive Hagia Sophia, a former church, later a mosque and now a museum, or Basilica Cistern, as seen in Dan Brown's movie adaptation Inferno, starring Tom Hanks. Best times to visit Istanbul is from March to May and September to November, especially if you want to avoid big crowds and hot and humid summer. We recommend a minimum stay of 5 days to visit Istanbul. Number 9. Petra. Petra is a historical city in southern Jordan and one of the 7 wonders of the world. The history of Petra goes back to 9000 BC. You can enter this ancient city through a remarkable gorge and explore impressively well-preserved Roman stone-carved architectural masterpieces and engineering marvels. Wait until dusk when the candles light up and create a magical atmosphere. Did you know that Petra was featured in numerous movies such as Indiana Jones, Transformers, and others? Despite being located in a turbulent region, Petra is considered to be safer travel, which makes it an increasingly popular tourist destination. Petra is open year-round, but the best months to visit are between March and May and between September and November to avoid the heat. We recommend visiting Petra for 2 days. Number 8. Georgia. Georgia, country, not the US state, is one of the world's hidden gems and one of the new hot travel destinations. Tbilisi, the capital of Georgia, is one of the world's oldest settlements. You can start your visit here and walk around the old city center, visit the famous thermal baths, or try the local Georgian food. And continue your travel to the picturesque Caucasus Mountains, where you can ski in the winter, visit one of many UNESCO's listed monasteries, or explore Georgia's ancient cities. You can also stop at one of the numerous wineries. Georgia claims to be the birthplace of wine, with production dating back over 8,000 years. Georgia is a budget-friendly destination since most historic sites are free of charge and accommodation, food and public transportation is inexpensive. Although using public transportation outside the capital can sometimes take some planning. Best time to visit Georgia is in May, June and September. And of course in the winter if you like skiing. Summers can be hot and humid. Staying in Georgia for about 10 days should give you plenty of time for a full experience. Number 7. New Orleans. New Orleans, a vibrant city located along the Mississippi River in the US state of Louisiana, is one of the most unique cities in the world. New Orleans grew in popularity in recent years after it was revitalized from the devastating Hurricane Katrina in 2005. While New Orleans, which celebrated its 300th-year anniversary in 2018, is probably best known for its Mardi Gras festival, it is also the birthplace of jazz and a culinary paradise. The city was founded by French colonists in 1718 and was the capital of French Louisiana until it was traded to the United States in 1803. Until the 20th century, New Orleans had miles of canals, exceeding those in Venice, Italy. Visit the historic French Quarter, experience Bourbon Street nightlife, visit one of many jazz clubs, and enjoy the typical Creole cuisine. Did you know that the modern version of poker was actually invented in New Orleans? The best time to visit New Orleans is between February and May, when the weather is cool and there's plenty of activities and festivals. If you want to avoid the crowds, the best months to visit are December and January. We recommend a minimum stay of 3 days. Number 6. Kyoto. Kyoto, a former imperial city of Japan for over 1,000 years, is also referred to as Japan's greatest ancient city. It is full of ancient temples, shrines, gardens, and castles. While Japan itself can be found on many hot travel lists, visiting Kyoto might just be the most pristine tourist experience of Japan's history, culture, and nature. Experience the traditional tea ceremony and order a traditional multiple-course Japanese meal, Kyo Kaisaki, walk among the well-preserved historic streets and feel what life in traditional Japan was like. You'll see kimono and yukata worn on the streets of Kyoto on a regular basis, and especially during the cherry blossoming and during festivals. Kyoto is easily accessible from Tokyo by a 3-hour train ride and is located only 25 miles from Osaka, Japan's third largest city. Best time to visit Kyoto is between March, April and May in the spring, and October and November in the fall. Staying in Kyoto for 3 days should provide enough time to explore the city, especially if you plan to visit some of the places nearby. Number 5. Berlin. Berlin is the capital and largest city of Germany. During the Cold War, the city was divided between the East and West with the infamous Berlin Wall. Berlin offers an amazing mix of history, culture, music, museums, and art. It is famous for its nightlife, attracting over tens of thousands of party-seeking visitors every weekend. What better way to experience the recent history of the world than by visiting Berlin? Don't miss attractions such as Checkpoint Charlie that pass through the Berlin Wall, an impressive parliament, Brandenburg Gate, and a Holocaust museum. Best time to visit Berlin is during the summer and in the months of May and September, when it's slightly less crowded and the weather is still good. We recommend a minimum of 3 days for the important landmarks and 6 to 7 days for a more relaxed experience. Number 4. Marrakesh. Marrakesh is one of Morocco's 4 former imperial cities and an increasingly popular tourist destination, mostly because of its authentic architecture, charming streets, world-class traditional restaurants, and the atmosphere creating a sense of timelessness. The city was founded nearly 1,000 years ago and has managed to preserve its rich cultural heritage. 1,700 acres of Medina, Marrakesh's old town, is a UNESCO heritage site due to a high concentration of architecture and art masterpieces. While there is an array of bigger hotels available, you can book a room in one of numerous authentic and relatively inexpensive boutique hotels close to the city center. The best time to visit Marrakesh is between March and May and between September and November. We recommend staying in Marrakesh for 3 days, which makes it a great weekend destination from Europe. Number 3. Amalfi Coast. Amalfi Coast is a picturesque Italian coastline located 1-hour drive from Naples and about 3-hour drive from Rome. The enchanting coastal road takes you through charming little towns wrapped between the sea on one side and high hills with beautiful vegetation and flowers stretching directly above. Every turn seems like the new best selfie spot. Stay in one of many unique hotels in Positano, Amalfi's most picturesque town, or take a boat ride along the coast to experience Amalfi from the other side. Dine at a local restaurant and finish the meal with a glass of traditional liquor made from Amalfi lemons called limoncello. The island of Capri is also located nearby and makes for a great one-day trip. Best months to visit Amalfi Coast is between April and September, and if you visit in May, the nature is especially charming. Try to avoid August since the place is packed with tourists. A minimum of 3 days should give you enough time to explore, or add an extra day or 2 if you also want to visit Capri or the nearby Pompeii. Number 2. Oaxaca. Oaxaca is a state in southern Mexico, full of indigenous archaeological sites and colonial architecture made of lava stones. Oaxaca is one of the safest states in Mexico and is becoming one of the most desirable travel destinations, offering a blend of culture and nature. Start your visit in Oaxaca City, the state capital with beautiful historic center, and continue to the Oaxacan coast, famous for exceptional seafood. Oaxaca is also a popular surfing destination, and its best known product is mezcal, an increasingly popular drink similar to tequila. You can plan your visit around the Day of the Dead in November and experience one of the most authentic celebrations of this traditional Mexican holiday. Otherwise, best time to travel to Oaxaca is between April and May and September to October, since the summer months are usually more crowded and there's more rain. We recommend staying in Oaxaca between 5 and 7 days. Number 1. Singapore. Singapore is a small island nation in Southeast Asia. The country gained its independence from Malaysia in 1965 and has since experienced one of the most massive economic growths ever recorded. Today, Singapore is a global business hub and offers amazing tourist attractions, food and cultural experiences, and is suitable for both budget and luxury travelers. Explore places like the amazing Gardens by the Bay, the largest indoor waterfall, visit Siloso Beach on Sentosa Resort Island, or grab a bite at one of the famous street markets and experience the vibrant local atmosphere. Did you know that the 2018 Hollywood hit Crazy Rich Asians takes place in Singapore? While the climate is similar year-round, some of the best months to travel are between mid-February and April, and you might want to avoid January and the beginning of February because prices go up during the Chinese New Year. If you visit Singapore for 3 to 5 days, you should have enough time to cover most of the sites. Do you have your favorite destination, or have you been to one of the places we presented in this video? Share it in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and enable notifications so that we can keep bringing you more awesome content.